Jeff Gibbons here. I run a YouTube channel where I go over music production. I do a lot of teaching, music theory, jazz, hip hop, stuff like that. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the new content that's coming with the drop today for Complete Now subscription users. Complete Now is the new subscription offered by Native Instruments, and it's $10 a month US and comes with a bunch of instruments right now. And it's going to come with new content every 2 weeks. You're going to be getting new things like the kits I'll show you today. You're also going to be getting new Play Series instruments as the subscription goes along. So if you sign up before January 10th, you're going to get 3 months of free trial. So make sure you get in there soon. And if you sign up after January 10th, you'll get 1 month of free trial. So what I'll do here is I'll walk you through some of the kits that just came with the drop. We'll look at some of the sounds. And I'm going to show you 5 different tips and tricks with Battery. First, I'll show you a little bit of the editing functions I like to use when I'm shaping my sounds in Battery. Then I'll show you how I like to keep track of my battery pads when I'm playing. I'll also show you how you can take one bass sample and turn that into an entire instrument. Then I'll show you the articulation setting in Battery, one of my favorite features. And lastly, I'm going to show you how you can copy a sound from one instance of Battery to another. So let's dig right into these new kits that come with this drop. I'm going to make a beat as I go, and then I'm going to also add some of the other instruments that come with Complete Now. So there's 8 kits taken from existing expansions. Then there's 2 kits called All Kicks and All Snares, and those are just basically all the kicks and all the snares in Battery Now or in Complete Now. These kits are going to work perfectly for the lo-fi, hip-hop, pop genre of music for sure. The first kit we're going to look at is called Lost for Words kit, and this one is taken from Faded Reels, an amazing expansion, one of my favorites. And it's just got some really good crunchy lo-fi stuff, and it's got some samples in there as well that we're going to play around with in this little video. We're going to work with this little guitar sample. The Nostalgia kit comes from one of my favorite expansions called Crate Cuts. Just got some nice clicky, crunchy snares, percussion, even Foley. Sound effects. Beautiful guitar sounds. So this one's really channeling that lo-fi, chill kind of stuff. Let's also have a look at the Cruiser Speed kit. This one comes from Platinum Bounce, another expansion. Really nice, deep, clicky kick. So mostly drum hits on this one. Another kit we're going to look at here is called the Crunch kit, and this one's taken from Infamous Flow. We got some really neat stabs in here as well. It's not just drum sounds. I love that with these expansions, and I end up using those a lot in my own production. We got the Monstrous kit, and that one comes from Pure Drip. And by the way, if you want to see your samples as you click on them with Midi, all you have to do is click this little button right here. And now, whatever note I play will select it in Battery. This one we can see it's more of a loop. I might just want this to be one sample, so I can just grab this end time. And then now, all I have is that one sample. So a really easy way to take something that might be a loop or have some information that you don't want in it and just quickly get rid of it. And there's another really cool sample. You know what? Let's just mess around with this. You know what'd be neat is if we took that one, maybe copied it somewhere else. So let's find a sample that we don't need out of this kit. I'm not going to use that one. So I'm going to right-click this and I'm going to go Copy Cell. I'm going to paste it onto this one right here. So now I've got the same sample on 2 different notes. And I'm going to go to the first sample and I'm just going to make this a hi-hat. So all I want is just one little hit. And then I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to turn on this articulation. So if you're not on the setup page, go to the setup page in Battery, turn on the articulation, and what it's going to do is it's going to trigger this sample a whole bunch of times right at the beginning. So if I go to Flam, it's adding extra little bits right at the beginning. And if I make this short, you'll really hear what's happening. So it's adding like a little da-da-da triplet. So I can now go. Very simple way to add some really complex hi-hats just by using the articulation button. So one more kit I will quickly look at before we get into actually playing this is the All Kicks and the All Snares kit. So if I thin this out to Complete Now, I can see I've got Complete Now kicks and Complete Now snares. I'm going to go to the kicks one just for a second, because I want to find a really nice, deep, thumpy kick. And now I can just start playing on the keyboard. Here, just a huge variety of kicks. I think I like this kick. So I'm going to right-click this kick, and I'm going to go Copy, Cell, and then I'm going to go back to my monstrous kit. I'm not going to use that kick, so I'm just going to go Paste, Cell, and now that kick that I had from the all kicks is in this kit. Next thing I'm going to do is go back to Lost for Words kit, and I'm going to start working with these samples. I'm just going to go to the release of each of these samples and make them quite short. So when I release my finger, they just stop. And if you can't see the volume envelope, all you got to do is turn it on. I'm just going to punch this in. So I'm going to right click on this one. I'm going to go Copy Cell. I'm going to paste this one over here. I'm going to take this sample right here. I'm going to pan it a little bit to the left. I'm going to take this sample right here, pan it to the right. And now you'll hear those two samples on the left and the right. Next, I'm going to go to my monstrous kit, and we're going to punch something in for a beat. Next thing I'm going to do is add an effects track. I'm going to go load up a RAUM, which comes with Complete Now. I'm going to call this RAUM verb. This allows me to use the same RAUM by all of my instruments if I want. Let's go to the factory preset. Let's go to Basic Synth Hall. I'm going to try checking this beat onto my Lost for Words kit. Just see how this sounds. Kick's good, and the snare looks good. But that's not the right sample, so let's put that one on a hi-hat and see what it sounds like over here. There we go. But here we just took the same beat that we had, and now we've got a much simpler beat, which might be a good start for our song. So I'm just going to bring this right over top of the other one and glue it together with our guitar samples. And I'm going to bring this monstrous kit in a little bit later. So now we've got a simpler beat to start with. Next thing we're going to do is make a bass track. I'm going to actually take the bass from the crunch kit because we've got this one really nice sample here. That's going to make a really nice warm bass sound for this little idea. So all I'm going to do is right click this. I'm going to go Copy Cell. I don't need the rest of this kit for this bass track. So I'm going to click on this little button right here, New Kit. I'm going to right click. I'm going to paste this cell onto here. Okay, so right now this sample is only on one note and we want it to run up the keyboard. And it says it's a G, which is the wrong note. We're playing a C. I've got a real piano here, and it is indeed a G. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to extend the range of this. We're going to go down to C0 so that this note fires all the way down to the bottom, and then we're going to raise it up to C2. So now it goes all the way up to here and then stops. It's the wrong note. So if I was to play the keyboard, you'd be hearing a G every time you play a C. I'm going to transpose it just by changing the tuning. So right now it's on a G, so I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semitones up. So I just grab the semitones here, take this up 5 semitones. Now we've got a C. But they're all Cs. Click on the setup button in Battery and click on Key Track, and now you're going to be able to play all the way up the range of the keyboard. All right, that sounded good. So we're not quite done with the crunch kit. We're going to steal another sample from the crunch kit, and that's how I'm going to make this keys track. I'll show you what we've got there. This beautiful little synth sound. So I'm going to right click that one, Copy Cell, and we're going to do the same thing that we just did with the bass on the keys track. I'm going to add one more line to this little keys thing. I'm just going to add a little upper melody. I won't go too much into that, but I'm just going to go like this. So the next instrument I'll show you is Lo-Fi Glow. We're going to add that to these new kits, and I went through it and I just found a fun patch in here called Cold Tie. So I'm just going to drop this sample in every once in a while in here. You'll hear that in a little bit. You know what I just did? I added one more kit. So we're layering 3 different drum kits now. So I'm going to bring in this crunch kit when the song gets a little bit bigger, and it just sounds great. Really fills out the thin drums that we've got on the beginning. Let's just go with kick and snare on that one. We don't really need the hi-hats. That sounds great. We'll go with that. Next thing we're going to add is a little bit of Massive X. And I've got a patch loaded here for Massive X called Neo Soul. That's in the new in 1.1 bank. So if you're looking for this patch, that's where you're going to find it. Really nice little keys patch, so let's put that one in there. I've got a nice lead here from the Retro Machines MK2. Maybe I'll put something in at the beginning with that one. So we're going to load up the androgyny kit for this other little tip I'm going to give you. This one's from the True School expansion. And it's got a really nice crash cymbal in there. And I'm going to drop this little cymbal swell right before this big part right here where everything comes in. And so to do that, I'm just going to drop a chunk here, and I'm going to find that sample. I could even just draw this in, solo this in the editor, and have a listen to where the peak of this swell hits. And then I'm going to make sure that that peak lines up with bar 6. So I press play. So it's right about here. So I'm going to drag this over till my mouse kind of lines up with that spot right there. And then I'm going to release it so that it sounds like this. And then for the last chunk here, this little repeat, I'm going to make this even more interesting by adding some shaker. I do have some fine shaker skills. Thing I'm going to do now is just load up one more Massive X patch. I'm using one called West Hill. This one is from new in 1.2. So if you're looking for that patch, that's where you're going to find it. So now I'm going to play this out, but make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell for Native Instruments videos. There's going to be a lot more videos like this coming up in the future showing things that are coming with the latest drops of Complete Now. And if there's anything you want to see in Complete Now, make sure you make a note of it in the comments because they're really listening to what people want to see from this subscription. So thanks for watching. Let's play around with this little idea.